Which, speaking on that, so thinking a lot about this yesterday. Your experience in life shapes the way that you look at the world. Like, even specifically when it comes to sports, right? If you are born in a certain area of the world, what you experience is what you believe to be true. If you were to ask a kid from Alabama who's an Auburn fan, who's the most obnoxious fan base you've ever met in your life, it would
Ohio
be
State.
Alabama. Maybe, I don't know if
Very
they were
bad.
originally from Ohio. I have no idea. But, or, if you were to ask someone, let's say from California, who's the most obnoxious fan base?
Ohio
Probably
State.
USC or UCLA or Ohio State. They're probably a close second on that list. If you were to ask someone from Michigan, it would be
Michigan State.
you're on one today.
Ohio State.
But growing up for me, right, in my limited experience of the world and my lack of access to social media or anything else outside of what my immediate circle was, like just going to school as this young middle school age kid, Notre Dame fans were the most obnoxious people on the planet. I could not stand Notre Dame fans, mostly because for a couple reasons, right? I went to Catholic schools growing up, so naturally you're going to have a lot of Notre Dame fans. Also, the area of the country that we're in. We're only a 2-hour drive from South Bend, right? So that's,
Beautiful
essentially
campus, by the
that's.
way.
Oh, love it. Yeah. Oh, Notre Dame's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Last time I was there, we were actually taking wedding pictures, and they actually walked a couple of football recruits by us.
Oh, nice.
And so they were going to look at the grotto, and so I walked up and I was just talking to him, and one of the recruits' dads said that I looked like a leprechaun, and then I laughed, and then he's like, "You sound like a leprechaun too," and I'm like, "All right." I'm like, I am not promoting Notre Dame here. I'm actually coming over here to tell you that there's another school in Ann Arbor that you should probably consider before you come here. And they're like, and then I walked
Obviously,
away. But
they won a
anyways,
national championship recently.
right. I
Notre
just
Dame
wanted
done?
to, yeah, I just wanted to mix it up a little bit, throw a, and I could tell the person doing the tours was like, okay, go away now. We don't need you. So anyways, but Notre Dame fans were the most obnoxious people of all time because I was surrounded by more of them. Like, there were just more ND fans all around me. So naturally, I was not exposed to anything else, right? I get a little bit older. I get on Twitter. All of a sudden, I start to realize just how obnoxious Ohio State fans are, the SEC. Like, you start to kind of get a look at, okay, like on a larger scale, like these people are nuts. Notre Dame fans are actually pretty tame compared to the rest of college football and even down south. But one thing I've never experienced, or at least not to the same extent as I have since coming on to this show and working for the National Soccer Network, I really shouldn't talk all that bad about SEC fans anymore because SEC fans don't come after your intelligence a lot of times. SEC fans are just going to be arrogant and tell you that, hey, we're the best ever. European soccer fans might be the most obnoxious the earth has to offer in terms of sports fans towards Americans. And the reason why I know this is because we were reading through some of our YouTube comments yesterday on our video talking about how there's a bias in soccer across in Europe for American soccer players. An example like Weston McKennie, who has to battle for a spot every single year despite being arguably the best player on Juventus year after year. And let's just say that did not sit well with the international YouTube football consuming community. Because my goodness gracious, yeah, I gotta give a shout out to TikTok. At least TikTok tries to bury some of those comments a little bit.
They do.
YouTube's just like, here's what this guy said about you. Have fun. And one of the comments, I believe, the guy was trying to shut our page down because he didn't like our take about.
Oh yeah, we got reported a couple times technically. Yeah.
Against American soccer players, which is just wild. But calling us ignorant and stupid and dumb. So welcome back to the It's Called Soccer podcast. We're actually formally changing the name of the show today. It's called Soccer. We're going to prove in 2026 why it's called soccer. Right, Ryan Glinsky? It's the confidence we're going with right now.
If that happens, the world will not know what to do with themselves. They will.
That's what I'm saying.
They won't know what to do. And I will say, I met a couple of my dad's coworkers that are European soccer fans, and they're pretty cool with Americans, I guess, when it comes to soccer. Like, they're pretty cool with it. Like, they're all Spaniards and stuff, and they're all pretty cool. A couple of them own some teams over there, so they're all pretty cool with it. But for some reason, yesterday just was. I don't know what we said that really just pissed them all off. I mean, if the moment Christian Pulisic scores like game-winning goal against like a European side in the knockouts and lifts his shirt up and it reads "It's called soccer," I think the world will end. Like I really do. Like we all talk about all these like different ways the world's gonna end. I think the number one
Yeah.
way I think the number one way the world ends is if America becomes really good at the men's side, if America becomes really good at soccer and wins the World Cup. I genuinely
Yep.
think that's how the world ends. Because
World
the
War II.
Europeans
Yeah.
won't know what to do. Because if you think about it, obviously we own American football, like no one ever comes close to it. We obviously own basketball. Baseball and hockey are a little different. Canada kind of owns hockey, and I feel like Japan has got to own baseball, right? Like they're just robots over there.
No.
Like they're just not true. They're not real. And then soccer, like that's the only thing the world had. Like if you look at every sport in the world, major sport, the U.S. is in the top 3 or top 5 of every single thing, of every category. But you look at soccer, and they're nowhere close. Like they're 20th, maybe 15 at
Yeah.
tops. Like that's about it. But at the moment we conquer that and constantly get in the conversation of we're in the World Cup, oh God, they'll invent another sport. They'll invent another sport that we're not good at. Like I don't know how we are in the world of like rugby or cricket, but yeah, we outside of soccer, once we conquer that, the world's gonna end. I'm
Yeah.
just,
Well,
just gonna put it
rugby,
out
we
there.
ain't there. I mean, women's rugby is getting there. I mean, obviously with them winning a medal at the last Olympics, and clearly the USA starting to catch up on the women's side. I don't know about the men's side nearly as much, but what I will say is that the number one indication of you being guilty of doing something is if I bring it up and your first reaction is a visceral one, and you're going to start yelling at me and insulting our intelligence. I'm pretty sure you're guilty of whatever it is I just accused you of. And everything we just accused them of, they are guilty of. Everybody in that comment section is guilty of it, because if you weren't, you wouldn't have felt the need to say what you were saying in calling us all these things. That's the funniest thing to me. And remember what I said in that. I think I said it in that clip. And maybe not. I don't know if you included this part in it. And I talked about how it's not that the bias exists. It's that they're scared to admit it. They don't want to admit it. They're afraid that again, we're going to do exactly that. All right. World War II started because there was a power hungry country that wanted to take over the world. And World War III is going to start because there's a power hungry soccer nation that's going to take over the World Cup. And then no one's going to know how to handle themselves.
And who saves them in all these wars? Just put it out there, Europe. Who saves you? Who saves you in all of them? I'm not arguing. I'm just not going to argue history on this one.
Hey,
but, like,
yeah.
reading
The
these
Soviets played their part, but they ain't too good. They ain't too good at soccer. Russia, that is.